Hey guys, so basically this is going to be a video for anyone who wants to start streaming on their Mac, basically playing normal Steam games. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically open up my Steam here. Where are you? Steam. We're going to open up Steam and I'm basically going to show you how pretty simple this is. Now, once Steam decides to actually open up, we'll get this lesson started. Alright, so here Steam is open. I actually have Dota installed. Now, basically, if I wanted to stream myself playing Dota, you know, it's pretty simple. All you really need is this free software called CamTwist, or if you want something that's a little bit less strenuous, if you want something that's a little less strenuous on your Mac, you can actually get something called siphoninject. Siphoninject is basically something that captures frame buffers from GL applications. So basically every game on Steam basically uses OpenGL, so you'll be able to actually capture those frames in OpenGL and put that into a stream program such as Coco Split, because Coco Split is basically pretty much your best option at this point right now. Today's date is what? July 28th? No, not the 28th. Yeah, today's the 28th of July, and pretty much your best option is Coco Split. I know OBS, Open Broadcast Software, actually has something for Mac right now. It just does not work very well right now, because in order for you to do it, you're gonna have to make something full screen and then capture that, and then let's say your girlfriend sends you a message saying that she's pregnant and this, that, and the other. That whole conversation would be streamed if you don't have two monitors. So we don't want something like that happening. So to keep things confidential, I'm gonna show you guys pretty much your best option if you wanted to stream a game like Dota 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up CamTwist. Okay, now as you can see, this is CamTwist 3.0, which is currently in beta, but is pretty much the most stable version, and the one that I pretty much like to use currently now, all because it adds in a lot of things. Now there's two ways that we could actually capture this. We could actually use the Desktop Plus feature, or we can use a siphon feature. I'm going to cover both of them here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to select Desktop Plus, confine to application window, and then we're going to go on to the Dota OSX one. Okay, now that's not where it pretty much ends. What you want to do is, because since it's capturing the whole window, you could say, select capture area. You could just say, I want to capture this. So that this way, you're not capturing the entire window where it says Dota 2-OpenGL. So you pretty much capture that. If you want to check it while you're in the program, you could hit the Command P, and it'll give you a preview. So now as you can see, everything that you see here, you could see there. So another thing you could also do is you could show the mouse pointer, and it will basically show your mouse. It'll show your mouse while you're in here. So that's pretty cool, don't you think? Now, this is one way of actually producing a stream while I do that. So if we head on over to Coco Split, now I forgot to one step here. Now on CamTwist, what you're going to want to do is, you're going to go to preferences, you're going to set up this here, you're going to want to set your frame rates to 60. You can choose to keep cameras warm on or off. It all depends on you if you're going to have multiple screens. Being that I stream a lot of fighting game tournaments, I actually keep the cameras warm so that this way, when I change over to it, it doesn't flicker or anything like that. You're going to set your video size to whatever video size you want to output at. I normally set my display area for 1280 by 720, and then I'm going to always click enable siphon server. Siphon server, like I said before, is a way to actually capture frame buffers. It actually uses a lot less CPU. Over QT kit, QT Capture, and AV Foundation. Now, while those things might sound foreign to you, you'll start to learn these as you start streaming more. So that pretty much does that for this now. Okay, so since I pretty much have it set up for that, I go ahead and I open up Coco Split. If you want to learn how to set up Coco Split, there is another video that's within this playlist that will show you how to set up Coco Split, especially this new version. What we're going to do is we're going to set the type, because you have several different types you could choose from. You could choose desktop, AV Foundation, QT Capture, Siphon, and an image. Now remember, I talked about AV Foundation and QT Capture. Those you'll hear more about in the next video, which will basically be about console capture devices and things like that. But for right now, we're going to stay focused with just Siphon. So we're going to select Siphon, then you're going to pick your source. Your source is going to be CamTwist, because we just turned that on. And just like that, everything that we have here that's going on in CamTwist that we're capturing from Dota 2 will be here. So now, let's say you wanted to, let's say, add your webcam. Okay, you could go ahead, click on webcam, hit select. Well, see, there I am. But we don't want to do that. We want to add both of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually set up something in the studio. Now the studio I like because of the simple fact that it gives you the ability to create your whole layout. Kind of works like XSplit. If you ever worked on XSplit in PC, it's kind of like the same premise. So in order to open up the studio, you hit Command S. Now with Command S, basically you'll have no buttons here. I have buttons here only because I have things set up and things like that. But for you, I'm going to delete mine and we're going to set up new buttons. Okay, so we're going to do this. Going to click Edit. Going to go ahead, add your Desktop Plus, kind of like you did before. Then you have your settings here. You go ahead, you pick Dota 2, show mouse, select capture area again. No, I didn't want to move it. Hold on. We're going to scale this down so that this way it gets the full window. Done. Okay, and that'll be my bottom layer. So obviously this works in layers. So if you're a Photoshop user, bottom layer is your bottom layer. Anything above that will cover it or be on top of it. So if I were to say I want to add my webcam somewhere, I could go ahead, hit a new button, edit, and because I want to add my camera in a smaller version, what I'll do is I'll do the PIP, which stands for picture in picture. So I'll hit picture in picture, and then it's going to ask me, hey, which webcam do you want to use? I'm going to say my FaceTime because I have nothing else really plugged in right now. So FaceTime camera, I'm going to scale it down to smaller size, and I'm going to put it over here. So now my webcam is there, and that's pretty much it. But what I want for you all to do is basically sit, explore, mess around with it, and things like that. And as you can see, there's my webcam in the bottom corner. If I wanted to go live, I just hit dissolve. And pretty much that's what it looks like here. So there's one way of actually streaming Dota 2 and looking fine. The next way of streaming Dota 2, still using CamTwist, but we're not going to use the desktop region. I'm going to delete the button here that we created. We're going to use another program. It's another free program that you could get from the same guy who made Coco Split. It's a program called siphoninject. I really need to tell him that he needs to make icons for these apps because having the default, working app is kind of boring to look at. So now once you open up siphoninject, you basically have a long list of programs here. So now, as you can see, pretty much lists all your open apps that have OpenGL running. So now what we're going to do is, because we're going to want to stream Dota OSX, which is basically Dota 2, and that's basically an OpenGL program, we're going to go ahead and click inject. So now, if you wanted to just stream this without doing anything fancy in CamTwist, okay, you can actually do that. You could just go ahead into Coco Split and say, hey, just stream Dota for me. And that's pretty much it. Okay, and then what you can do then is now you go and you download Soundflower, which is another free application. Once you download and install that, it'll give you another sound output and input, basically called Soundflower's 2 channel and Soundflower 64 channel. I like using the 64 channel only because if I start wanting to add inputs in through Audio Hijack, I can. But being that this is basically a basic instruction, we're going to just do the 2 channel. Okay? So we're going to set our output to the 2 channel. But then you're probably asking, well, how can I hear it if it's set to this? The wonderful thing about Soundflower is it actually comes with this program called Soundflower Bed. So we're going to go to Soundflower and we're going to Soundflower Bed. What it does is it opens this nice little icon here. You click on it and then you can basically output your audio from Soundflower to whatever you want. So now that I set all my audio to go through Soundflower, whenever I go to this, I can actually still hear it. So that is pretty much the second way of doing it. Now we've covered the video part, we're going to cover the audio part now. So now for basic setups where you just want just this to go, where you just want the game audio and whatnot but no mic, this is perfectly fine. But if you do want your microphone to be added in, you're going to have to get Audio Hijack. Now, Audio Hijack costs $30. I know it's kind of steep, but to be honest with you, it's worth pretty much every penny. It's a software mixer that works really great and does exactly what you need it to do. So let's say you want your microphone to be added in, and this is pretty much how Audio Hijack is going to look. You go ahead, this one's going to say built-in microphone, or if you want to plug in a mic, or if you have a USB headset that you want to plug in, you just go ahead, you say, I want to use my USB mic. Let's say that this is your USB mic and you want the output to go to the 2 channel. Just go ahead and put it to the 2 channel. You click hijack and as you can see, I can hear it over and over, like I hear myself repeating. But I'm going to uncheck it, but once I do that, that lets me know that it's working. So once I start streaming, whatever I'm saying as well as the game sound will be heard on stream. So that pretty much covers basic streaming on a Mac for gaming and things like that. Again, if you need help with Coco Split setting it up, there is another video that will be within this playlist, that is in this playlist, that will show you how to set up Coco Split based on your internet as well as your CPU.